Morning, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards, and I've got a new video for you this morning. I wanted to let you know that I was inspired by the annual catalog to make these cards. So this is the one we're going to make today, and then I made this one and this one. And I used the same stamp sets to make these cards. The inside of this one, and then the inside of this one, and the inside of this one. I went from really simple to a little bit more complicated to super complicated. And let me show you what I did. I took from the annual catalog on page 10 and 11 this card. You can't really see it, but it's kind of behind there. I made this one, kind of using this design. And then for this card, I used this design right here. And I'll tell you what I used for the little shaker things on the inside. And then for this card, it's this one here that I used. I changed it just a little bit. So these are on pages 10 and 11. In your annual catalog. I haven't got all my new ink colors yet, so we're just trying to use the colors that I have. So let's get started on this card, and then I'll explain the other cards as we go along. I'm not going to put all the sizes in this video. You can go to my blog and find all the information for the sizes and colors that I can tell you the colors, but I'll list the colors and the stamp sets. So this is So Saffron 8.5 by 5.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This one's Mint Macaron, and it is, just I'll tell you, 4 7/8 or 5. This one's 5 by 3 3/4, and this one is Whisper White 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. And then this is just a piece of scrap to stamp the thank you. And I believe this is 1/2 inch wide. This one's a little bit less. You can cut it smaller, whatever suits you. So let's get started. Go ahead and stamp the inside. And the stamp sets I used, this sentiment comes from Path of Petals. And it is Your Kindness Has Touched My Heart, because this is a thank you card, and then I got the thank you from this stamp set. And then this stamp set, Jar of Flowers, I used this jar, these flowers, this image for the water, and the stems. And this stamp set you can buy as a bundle with the punch. So I used this punch on one of the other two cards, but not on this one, because this is just stamps, ink, and paper, and a piece of ribbon. And the ribbon is the Daffodil Delight ribbon, ruched, kind of crinkly ribbon. So let's stamp the inside. I used Memento Black to stamp the inside. Now you can put a panel in here if you want, but this is a pretty light color, so I just stamped directly on it. I'm going to stand up so I can get it straight. Let's put this pad under it so it make sure it stamps well. And we'll get it straight as we can. That looks good. Be sure that, yes. Okay. So I stamped that, and I'll set that aside. Now we're going to stamp, since we got the black out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the thank you on here. And then you can trim this down. You don't have to have it this fat. I'll probably trim it, so, because I want it a little thinner. Okay, and we're going to take this, and we're going to stamp our jar, and you want to make sure you leave plenty of room for your bouquet at the top. So you don't want to stamp too far down when you stamp your jar. So you just kind of up, stamp your jar, and I stamp that in Memento Black. Okay, then for these flowers, I wanted them to be kind of brownish. So I took my soft suede and stamped the flowers with the soft suede. And they stamped pretty light. Get the whole thing inked. And I made it so they were kind of just touching the top of my jar and not going over the edge of my card panel. Okay, that's all we need that for. Then I took my stems. I think I'll do my water first. I took this piece here and I used Pool Party so that I could get my line that shows the edge of the water. And we're going to just stamp that right here so you can see that we've got some water. And we're going to clean this because we're going to turn it over so that we can get the color of the water. And what I'm going to do is stamp off because I don't want it too dark. This is Pool Party. So we're going to stamp it. Because if you stamp it directly on, it's too dark. So you stamp off and then stamp. That way you get the color of your water without it being too dark. And that's Pool Party. Okay? So then we're going to take our stems and we're going to take a pair of pizzazz and we're going to stamp those stems there. And you want them up high enough that they're going to touch the bottom of your flowers. I mean, it's not real critical because you're going to put a ribbon on there, but you want it kind of up there so it looks like they're connected. So I'm going to stamp those just like so. Okay. And I think that's all the stamping that we're going to do. So we'll go ahead and clean our stamps. So they're ready for next time. I don't want to leave them dirty. I don't want to forget. And then have ink all over me. Okay. Okay, our stamps are all clean. Move those aside, out of our way. Okay, now we're going to do some coloring. So what I did, I don't need that anymore. I took my blends, and we're going to color these flowers. So I took the So Saffron and colored all my flowers with So Saffron. This is pretty quick coloring. I'm just going to color all the petals, like so. And the So Saffron. Like I said, this does not take very long to color. Just want to get them all yellow on there. So Saffron. Once you get all of that, now you could use the new colors that are out. I don't have them, so this is what we're using. Then I'm taking my light Mango Melody, and this was light, or this is dark So Saffrons, and this is light Mango Melody, and I just kind of put a little bit of color on the inside edges of these flower petals. It's like so. Just to give them a little bit of shading on the darker on the inside of the flowers, right there on the petals, like so. And after I did that, I went back with my So Saffron and just kind of blended them. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just want a little bit of darkness on the centers or the bottom parts of those petals. And it blends very well. So that's how I did that. Okay. Then I took this is light pumpkin pie, and I colored these light pumpkin pie just because I wanted something besides just a bunch of yellow flowers. So I just colored these. There's not very many. I colored that color. And I took this is light Old Olive, and I colored in my stems because you don't want them to look hollow. You want them to have color. And like I said, you can use, if you have the new Stampin' Up! Colors, you could use those. I just don't have them yet. We couldn't order them in our pre-order, so I'll be ordering those this month. So I just colored those in. And then I colored my leaves the same color, these leaves. Just a little dab of color on each one of these. And then I took my mint macaron and I colored all of these leaves. It doesn't have to be perfect, just give it a little bit of color, just a dot on each thing. And then I colored these ones up here, this color, mint macaron. This is the light, I believe. Oh, dark mint macaron. Color this fairly quickly. I wanted to remind you that while I'm coloring, that this month, if you sign up as a demonstrator, you can sign up under me. Just click the little down arrow below the video, and it'll take you to my online store. You can sign up as a demonstrator, and you get, for $99, you get $125 worth of product Plus, you get to pick a stamp and die set, a bundle, for free. You could choose this bundle if you want. Then I took my light crumb cake, because I wanted the inside of these flowers to have a little bit of darkness, but not too dark. And I just colored the inside of my, I don't know, daisies, I guess they are. That's what I did for those. And then for this, I took two different blues. I took the light Night of Navy, and I just put some little, not much, just a little bit, because you don't want too much in there. I took that, and then I took my, this is the dark balmy blue, and I just blended it. So that would be kind of a bluish color. And it blends really, really nicely. And then I took my crumb cake, my light crumb cake, and I want this to look like this jar was just sitting on thin air. So I just colored a little bit here to make it look like it was sitting on something. Just like so. Okay? If you check out my blog, you'll see all the instructions for this card, and my host code. If you order $50, between $50 and $149.99, I have host gifts, or gifts that I will, a gift that I will send you for ordering from me. Okay, we're just going to glue this to our mint macaron piece, just like so. And I didn't use any dimensionals on this piece. I just glued it to the front of the card. You could certainly put dimensionals on this, give it a little bit more lift. I just didn't do that. So, put that on the front, just like so. Okay. We're going to take our ribbon, or bow, put a glue dot on the back, and we're just going to put it right here. So you're not even going to see the tops of those stems. We're going to take our thank you, and I'm going to trim it so it's a little thinner. Cut the ends off because it's too long. And then I'm going to cut up the center, and we're going to do little flag ends, just like so. Okay. Just like that. And then I'm going to take the mini dimensionals, and I'm going to put 3 on the back of this. Just like so. And we're going to center it across the jar, just like so. And that's your card. Okay. Now this card, I just stamped the jar, punched it out with the punch, cut the bottom off, added a strip of, this is Melon Mambo, and I colored these flowers with the watercolor pencils. And then I used a water brush to blend them. And that's how I made this card. And I popped this up on dimensionals. And this card, I stamped this flower, bunch of flowers, and then I fussy cut them out. And this is punched out, this spot here, and you can buy these really cute little jar things to make a shaker card. And I used, for these little things on the inside that you can see in here, I used the little things that come in like your pill bottles and stuff that's for keeping the moisture out, and I've saved those, and these were perfect for this. They're little round let's see if I got them handy here. You can use whatever you want. That's just what I used. They kind of look like this, and I've just been saving them up, and they're round little moisture things that come in your little packets that come in with some of your bottles of pills, and that's how I did this. So that's your card for today. Let me know if you want me to demonstrate these other two cards, and I'd be more than happy to do that in another video. So go to my blog, and all the dimensions for this card and the products will be on my blog. You have a blessed day, and remember the special for signing up as a demonstrator. It's good until the 30th of June. And my host code is good until the 30th of June. I'll be giving, what I'm actually giving away is a packet of the clear rhinestones. This one I'm giving away with a $50 order. You just have to use the host code. So you have a blessed day and have fun stamping.